the name, and he automatically ran up to me, and he was the biggest of his litter, which is so convenient because I just kind of wanted a bigger, smaller dog. I don't know if that makes sense. Hi everyone, so today I will be filming the video on how I got Peanut. So I'm going to go into multiple different subjects on this topic because I feel like everything should be shared and I don't want to leave anything out. So I kind of have it on my phone ready to share, and I will insert pictures and videos as I go so that you know the full story and you know what happened. So this video was requested to me by my cousin, so hello Carly, thank you for requesting the video. I feel kind of weird saying that, but thank you. Multiple people, I keep saying that, a lot of people have asked me about how I got Peanut and the story about him. So basically, you need to know how to get a service dog and you need to qualify for a service dog. So in 2017, I asked my doctor. I was an outpatient facility, and there was a therapy dog that came to my facility, and I'll insert a picture here. He was really, really kind and really, really sweet. He was adorable, and I was just kind of like, you know how cool it would be to have like a dog that was a therapy animal. And at the time, I did not know anything about ESAs, PSDs, SDs. I didn't know about any of those things. I just knew about this therapy animal that I saw, and me and my friend were like really intrigued by this dog, and we really, really liked that he came. And so after that, I was asking the staff about therapy animals. The lady, her name was Karen, she told me a little bit about therapy animals, and I noticed that therapy animals were for other people. And I needed an animal for me, and I knew that I wanted an animal, like a service animal, after I figured that out. I didn't even know that I qualified for a service animal. I just kind of started doing research on it. So I was like watching videos, I was reading articles, I was looking on ADA. I was researching this, and I do this with a lot of things, like before I get a pet or before I make a big decision. I research them like really intensely. So I researched it for about a month, and then it turned to be January, and during January, I asked my doctor, my psychiatrist, if I qualified for a service animal, and she didn't know the answer to it, and nobody really knew the answer to it. My parents didn't know. I didn't even tell them yet. I really wanted a service animal, and I didn't know how to get one. So then at the time, my therapist at the time, my psychologist at the time, she did the research for me, and she figured out that I did qualify for a service animal, and I do have the requirements, like the disorders that are required. You know, like I've required a service animal. I needed one at the state that I was at. So she told me to talk to my parents about it. That day, I made a little list about why, the pros and the cons about a service animal, and I presented it to my parents. Another thing that I do, I present things, and it's really weird, but I do it. And I showed my parents the list, and I told them about it, and I talked to them, and at the end I was like, so what do you think? Is this even possible? Like, do I have the support for this? And my mom was, really, really quickly, it might have been like 5 seconds later, she was like, yeah, we can do it. We can try. And I was very surprised by that, because my mom at the time was not open to animals and open to other types of animals. All we had was like a fish at the time and like honey buns. And honey buns was like, it took 2 years to get honey buns. It took a long time. So I was really surprised that she said yes. And then my dad was like, if you think this is gonna help you, like, this is what we need to do. And I feel like if you require one and you meet the you meet the disabilities and you talked to your psychologist, then you can definitely like work it out. So for a couple months, we checked out different options and different breeds, and we did all of our research, and it took a long time. Like, it took a while before I got Peanut, like a really long time, like a year before I got Peanut, because the process is so long and you have to go through all the treatments. You have to have tried everything before that. You have to have been admitted to a mental health facility. You have to have all these requirements and meet them before you get a service animal. So in the process of deciding if I qualified for Peanut, we did look at the options of ESAs. Now, ESAs are emotional support animals, and those are not legally allowed to go into public areas. So the public access test would not work on ESAs. They are just for public transportation. So we were going back and forth between, do I need a dog to do a task for me, or do I just need a little dog for comfort? Like, do I just need a little comfort, or do I need specific tasks to be met? Later on, throughout the process of trying to figure out if we were getting a service dog, my conditions got worse. I was admitted to an inpatient facility, and my depression was just getting the most of me. I was anxious all the time. I was having anxiety attacks, flashbacks, which have just recently started with getting Peanut, because I kind of relived my trauma, and it kind of sparked up things. So then they were like, okay, we need a service dog. We need someone to do, need a dog to do your specific tasks. So I thought of a list of tasks. I watched videos, like I said. I took tasks from the videos. I had the hiccups. And now that I'm done with the hiccups, we talked to my psychologist at the time, and she is obviously qualified to give me a note, a letter of recommendation saying that I do need a service dog and I meet the requirements. And then we had to go to my psychiatrist and have her sign off on it, saying that is legally I fall under the ADA. So we had to do that whole process. After we did that process, we needed to find a dog, and we needed to find a breed. So we did research on different breeds. I really wanted a golden, but for what I need him to do, I don't need a big dog. And our house is pretty small. It's not the biggest house. It's not the smallest house. And I don't think that would work. Like, it just doesn't seem natural. Like, only small dogs live in this house. Like, it just does not seem like it's even possible for a big dog to live here. It's so small. Like, it just wasn't gonna happen. Okay, so then we started researching smaller breeds. So the smaller breeds we checked out were like poodles, like miniature poodles, which is a part of what Chicken is, my other dog. I'll insert a picture here. She's so adorable. We looked at that. We looked at, I don't even know. We looked at almost every smaller breed or medium-sized breed. And we found the King Charles Cavalier Poodle mix. Oh my. And they are super smart dogs. Oh my goodness. He is the smartest little man I have ever seen in a dog. Like, he knows what is going on. Like, he knows if we're gonna, like, he knows everything. Like, it's really weird, and he escapes like all the time out of his like little crate, out of the little baby gates. Like, he's a genius. This dog's a genius. So, I liked the idea of a King Charles Cavalier Poodle mix. Oh my goodness. A Cavadoodle. And I like it's hyperallergenic. It is an like a 25-pound breed, which is like the size that I need, you know, nothing big. He was two smart dogs mixes together makes a genius dog, obviously. So so we were fine with that. So we went online to look at breeders, and while picking breeders, you need to be very, very careful, because you want to make sure you're getting a breeder that doesn't do any harmful things to the dogs, that doesn't you know, produce so many dogs that they don't even know that they have super like flaws, like maybe they have lung failure, or maybe like pugs, they have trouble breathing. Like, you know what a bad breeder is. You don't want one of those. So we looked for a good breeder, and she had multiple poodle mixes. That was her thing to do. It was poodle mixes. So we went to her house with my friend, and we met him. And at first we were looking at this small white dog, and I'll insert a video here. This small white dog was so small, and I couldn't even imagine this dog getting bigger. So I was like, okay, no thank you, goodbye. I was trying to like call out names to the dogs, and I was like, Mr. Peanut Butter, because I knew I wanted that name. Like, it's from the show BoJack Horseman. If any of you are familiar with that, I know I'm super weird. I watch the weirdest shows. It's okay. He was the biggest of his litter, which is so convenient, because I just kind of wanted a bigger, smaller dog. I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, to add more pressure for deep pressure therapy, I wanted a bigger, smaller dog. He came up, and I was super, super happy, because he is adorable. He looked and looks like a little miniature, like fake stuffed animal dog. He is adorable. He looks fair. He's adorable, and I instantly fell in love with him. And he was licking me, he was playful, he was responding to my cues. We did the temperament test on him, which I'll link below if you have any questions about the temperament test. We did everything to figure out if he was the one, and we came back a couple days later and picked him up, and she just kind of like handed here. She was just like through the door. She was like, here you go, and then like just closed the door, and we were like, oh, we just have this puppy in our hands. Like, this is weird. So he did come home with us, and during the car ride, he tucked his little head between me and my boyfriend at the time, which explains a lot, because he loves small spaces and dark places. So it's like really weird that he did that when he came home. But he was such a sweetheart. He didn't bark. His vision was off, so like his depth perception was so off. It was so adorable. I knew he was the dog. He just responded to me, and my mom says that he reacts to me different, and he responds to me different than another person. If they were handling him, that he would be a totally different dog if someone else was handling him. And from the moment we came home with him, we started training. So right away we started deep pressure training. We started sit, we started lay down, we started stay, we started leave it. We started all of that right away, because I needed him to train from 0 to 100. Like, I need him to be on his game, even from when he was little. And he has been perfect. He has been a wonderful little man. He is one of my bestest friends, as I call him. Of course, he has his off days, and today was a really good day. And it was last night I had a nightmare, and he was on point. He did everything that he was supposed to do. Even though he wasn't on duty, and he wasn't working, and he didn't have his working vest on, and it was just a hiccup during the night, he came and he did what he needed to do. He did his feet pressure therapy. He did his anxiety alert. He did his interruptions. It was great. He honestly has been great. But obviously we all have those bad days, and he's only had like a couple of those bad days where he's, you know, he acts out. It's not often when he does that, when he's working. But he is a little puppy that loves to run around. He's a fast runner. He's an aggressive chewer. He chews through every toy within 15 minutes. Like, I swear, we have to keep getting new toys, and I feel kind of bad that I have to keep getting new toys. But, like, you know, you don't want them to get a hang of something that's, like, broken or whatever. So, he has a bunch of toys. He loves blankets. He loves cuddling. He loves to be in the dark. He goes into his little crate, his little cave that I call it, because I put blankets over it so he feels alone. He is just a really smart dog. He knows what's up. He knows when I'm feeling down. He alerts me all the time, even when he's not working. He's a great dog, and I would not trade him for any other dog, not even a golden, and I really love goldens, and I might get a golden in the future, but Peanut is perfect for me, and he's the perfect size for me because I'm petite, and I don't really need like a huge dog next to me, which would drive more attention and stuff. He's just like the perfect size. He comes up to my knees, a little above my knees. He's good. So super happy about him. So like I said, we did training at the beginning. We got him into a puppy class at this canine place. I said the name, oops. So we got him involved right away. We did the temperament test, like I said. He's just been really good. And at first I resented him for a while because I was stuck downstairs in the TV room, sitting with him all day. When he was a puppy, because puppies can't be left alone, and I resented him for that. I really didn't like him for a bit because I had to be downstairs and I had so much responsibility like thrown on me that I was like not prepared for it. Like I was, but I wasn't expecting to stay every minute with him, which is weird because that's what you do when you have a baby and a puppy, but I guess I wasn't prepared for that, so I resented him for a little bit. And I was double thinking about, did I really do something that is positive, or did I just add more stress? Because at the time it was stress. And now I'm up here alone. He's downstairs. He's sleeping downstairs. He's being a good boy. He does what he needs to do, and I don't resent him anymore. And he's the best thing that has ever happened to me. He is my guardian angel. And just, I could go on. He's just the perfect little man for me ever. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, obviously leave them in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe, and please keep watching us during our journeys. Thanks for watching. Bye!